When most people think of Moe, they think of prank calls, an empty bar, or one of Springfield's funniest side characters. But here's something you might not have noticed. For someone who's always surrounded by people, Moe is incredibly lonely. His bar is full, his life isn't. And the older you get, the harder it becomes not to feel sorry for him. Stay until the end because we're looking at why Moe became one of the most misunderstood characters in The Simpsons, and why he might deserve a lot more credit than he gets. Hello and welcome back to Retro Dive, where we revisit classic cartoons, nostalgic characters, and the shows that shaped an entire generation. Today, we're opening the case file on Springfield's most unlucky bartender, Moe Szyslak. For years, Moe was the joke, the grumpy bartender, the guy answering prank phone calls, the man with terrible luck. Whenever something embarrassing happened, there was a good chance it happened to Moe. And as a kid, that was enough. He was funny, end of story. But watching those same episodes today, you start noticing something very different. Behind all of the jokes, Moe spends much of this series searching for connection. He desperately wants friends, he wants someone to love him, he wants his business to succeed, and every now and then, it looks like things might finally turn around, only for everything to fall apart again. That cycle became one of the quiet tragedies running through the show, because no matter how hopeful Moe was, life usually found another way to disappoint him. And it's easy to forget that Moe is actually incredibly resourceful. He owns and runs a business, he fixes problems himself, he's quick-witted, and despite his rough personality, he's often there when people need him, especially Homer. Their friendship isn't always healthy, but Moe repeatedly helps Homer, listens to him, and gives him somewhere to go. Sometimes that's exactly what a friend does, even if they don't say it out loud. And as adults, many viewers stop laughing at Moe and start recognizing him, not because they run a bar, but because they understand what loneliness feels like, what rejection feels like, what it's like to wonder if things are ever going to get better. Those are surprisingly grown-up themes for a cartoon, and Moe carried them for decades. Here's the thing, despite everything, Moe keeps opening the bar, keeps looking for love, keeps trying new ideas, and keeps showing up. Some work, most don't, but he keeps going anyway. There's something quietly admirable about that. Because hope isn't always loud. Sometimes, hope is just unlocking the front door every morning and trying again. Moe isn't remembered because he was the funniest, or the smartest, or the strongest. He's remembered because he felt real. Messy, imperfect, sometimes bitter, sometimes kind, sometimes surprisingly vulnerable, and that's exactly why people still connect with him today. The older you get, the more you realise Moe was never just comic relief. He represented something many adults eventually experience, the feeling of wanting your life to change, while still finding the strength to keep going. Maybe that's why he still matters, not because everything worked out, but because he never gave up completely on tomorrow. So using the Retro Dive case file index, we have intelligence 7, power 3, durability 6, strategy 6, emotional stability 3, danger factor 4, giving us a final score of 4.8 out of 10. Not Springfield's strongest character, but perhaps one of its most human. Moe wasn't memorable because of the prank calls. He was memorable because behind every joke, there was someone just trying to find a place where they belonged. If you enjoyed this Retro Dive case file, subscribe for more nostalgic cartoon deep dives, character analysis, and forgotten stories from the cartoons we all grew up with. And let me know in the comments, which Simpsons character should we open a case file on next? I'll see you in the next dive.